Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Visconti Dave. So I have another Visconti here I'd show you in my collection, and this is another Visconti Millionaire. Now I've shown you a Millionaire already that I have in my collection. Now these come in two different versions, and I'm going to show you the reason why. So let me open the box and I'll show you this. So it comes in, again, the lovely Visconti wood lacquered box that you see a lot, certainly on the pens that I have anyway. Now if I open up this lacquered box, you'll see the Visconti Millionaire. Now if you lift the tray, there's a number of things here. Now this I will come back to it in a moment. But let me just go through. So there's a lovely manual that you get with the Millionaire collection, and I'll just briefly show you through this manual. So Visconti actually describe and tell you about the Millionaire collection there. They show you some of the Millionaire models that they have. Now you don't have to be a millionaire to own one of these, although they are not cheap pens. So these tend to retail around the $1,800 to $2,000 mark, but you can get them significantly cheaper. and I'll tell you how that is in a moment. So this is the green one that I have. And then this is the honey version, and let me show you. It comes in various different materials, and I'll show you. There's another picture I think in this manual where it actually shows you. There you go. All of the current models in the Millionaire range, and so I have number 1 and number 3 there. And this one here I'm showing you today is number 3. Now they also show you how to fill the pen, which is actually very rare for Visconti. They don't normally show you, but I'll show you the reason why, because it's not a conventional filler that you would expect. Now this is the Visconti Millionaire Marble Empire Honey, and it's what's a 23 carat palladium nib. It's a piston filler. And this is number 171 of 988. So let me just put that aside, and I will show you a number of things. So let me get this out first, and I will just turn this over, a bit more light on, and I will show you the pen. So this is an interesting pen because it's made of marble, and you don't see many pens made of marble. Now, Visconti are well known for making pens out of exotic or luxurious material. They've made pens out of terracotta. They've made pens out of basaltic lava. How many companies can you say have actually made a pen out of basaltic lava? And also out of marble. So this is the honey version of the Millionaire, and a number of things I really do like about it. So it has a white laser etched Visconti backfill there. It's a yellow gold trim. It has the cap finial there. It's not a My Pen system, so you cannot remove the magnet. And so the barrel here, you can see here, it's a lovely sort of swirl of marble, and then you'll see here that the cap band says Millionaire, and then it has Visconti V logos. Now the body of the pen, you can see, is actually, again, very nice, and this is one that has always interested me, this version of the marble. And then you have a ring band here, and then you have what would be the end cap, but this is not a piston. It's a piston filler, but it's not what you would deem a modern day conventional piston filler, and I'll show you why. So in terms of size, this pen is quite large. Now you can post the cap, but it becomes very, very back heavy, and it's not something you would really want to do, to be honest. Now this comes with a white section here, and then the nib itself, if I just zoom in a bit, is, as I mentioned, the 23 carat palladium nib. Now this is a medium nib. And then what I'll do, I'll show you the filling system. And if you've already watched my other video, you'll see that basically this is a press to empty, pull to fill. And literally you just pull it, and that is where the ink will get suctioned up, and then you push it to expel ink. And that's basically it. So it's a really nice and easy pen to fill up and to clean. Now, the reason why they didn't put a piston knob, a conventional piston in this pen, I'll show you the reason why. There is this little thing here, and this, you think, well, what is in there? If I unscrew it, you'll see a rollable. Now, this is the rollable version, and this comes with the pen. Now, you can unscrew this, and it takes the standard Visconti refills, the AA40s, which are very cheap. But the beauty of this pen is that sometimes we'll find if you're trying to fill out a form, you don't know what the quality of the paper is, you don't really want to mess the form up with fountain penning, especially if you're going for a job or you're filling out an application form or something. So what Visconti did is they allowed you to basically swap out the fountain pen section for a rollable. And so what you can then do, obviously, is once you have that in there, now this doesn't screw in, unfortunately, and neither does the rollable, so you can't actually then use this as a separate pen, but that does screw on, and it's actually quite a nice way of making sure that the fountain pen doesn't then dry out. So that in itself is quite a good invention. I do like that. So let's just remove this again, and we'll put the fountain pen back in. And we'll do this. So what I'll do a writing sample of both of these. But this is the lovely Millionaire pen. So let's do a size check first. In terms of length, the overall length, we're looking around 147 millimeters, and the cap is 75 millimeters. The body from the tip of the tines is around 130 millimeters, so that is in oversized territory. In terms of weight, let's do a weight check. In terms of weight, this is going to be a heavy pen, obviously. So we're looking at just over 55 grams uninked for the whole pen. We're looking just over 29 grams for the cap, and just under 26 grams for the body uninked. So what we'll do now is we'll ink the pen up because it's not inked, and then we'll do a writing sample. But first I will do a comparison. So left to right we have the Pelikan M600 Turquoise White, the M800 Vibrant Blue, the Edison Collier Persimmon Swirl, the Atelier Lusso Carina, the Atelier Lusso Andromeda, we have the Visconti Millionaire, we have the Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra Arco, we have a Classic Pens LM1, a Classic Pens LB5, and a Conway Stewart Churchill Red Stardust. So, we will ink this pen up with Raw and Klinger Helianthus, as this pen isn't inked up currently. I'll try not to make a mess. So this piston is a little bit more stiffer. Now, unfortunately, there's no way of actually greasing these pistons yourself. So that's just something to bear in mind. Hopefully I can get this fully in. Now, the problem that is with whitish sections, that they may stain over time. So that's something just to bear in mind. Now, I think I got a good feel on that. There's some ink there on the section. Let's just wipe that off. So this is a very yellow ink, as you can see there. It's more of like a sun, I don't know, like almost like a sunflower yellow, to be honest. So let's take this out of the way. So we have here the Visconti Millionaire, and this is in a medium nib, and obviously this pen is made of marble. Now this ink is Raw and Klinger. Now get this spelt right, it's Helianthus. And it's a lovely, lovely yellow or orangey yellow type. So it's actually quite nice. Now, in terms of line variation, this is a medium nib, obviously, so it's going to put down a medium line. Now, this ink isn't really a wet ink. A lot of orange or yellow inks tend to be more on the dry side. So now, if I'm going to try and coax a little bit more ink out, you can see I can get some line variation out of it, but you don't want to push the palladium nibs too far. So you can see here that you can, getting a bit of extra ink coming out here, maybe I didn't wipe that nib off too much, but you can see that I'm actually getting quite a lot of ink coming out in terms of line variation here. Now, in terms of wetness, this is a drier ink, so it's not going to be a fire hose. The nib itself is actually quite wet, but the ink is going to actually make it look a lot drier. But there you go. That's actually, I guess that actually did put down a little bit more than I thought it would actually. Let's try that again. Yeah, actually that's quite a fire hose. So even though this ink is quite wet, it is actually. Now let's see if I can show you how wet this ink is without spilling this ink. You can see the ink there, and it's just pooling. So that is a very wet nib. So that's the fountain pen, and then let's do, if we remove this, we will do the rollerball. Now rollerballs are going to be wetter than ballpoints, but they're not going to be as wet as a fountain pen. They do have water-based ink in them, but not quite as wet. So this is the, let's do it down here a little bit more. This is the Visconti Millionaire Rollerball. Now this is a 0.7 millimeter, and this is just Visconti blue, and it's an AA40 refill. So obviously you're not going to get any line variation because it is a rollerball, but it just goes to show, like, this is a really nice smooth rollerball, and I think a lot of us fountain pen users do actually sort of not like ballpoints and not like rollerballs, but to be honest, rollerballs sometimes are a necessity, and I do find that sometimes you just need to use a rollerball, and these Visconti rollerballs using the AA40 refills are actually really nice writers. So I don't actually think twice. I will use a rollerball if I need to, and I'll pick up a Visconti. So this is really a nice pen. And so in terms of price, now I mentioned that these come around about $1,800 to $2,000 MSRP. Now you can get them cheaper. The other Millionaire that I have didn't have a rollable attachment, so sometimes if you get the model that doesn't have the rollable attachment that you can swap out, you can get the pen significantly cheaper. Now, strangely enough, I actually managed to get this one quite cheap, about the price of a version without the rollable. So that for me was actually quite good. But so if you want to pick up a Millionaire and you're not really interested in the rollable attachment, then hunt around, because if you can find one without the rollable, then get that, because you will get quite a bit of money off. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.